Let me say something that will make cautious people uncomfortable. If you've spent your whole life playing it safe with money, you may have taken more risk than you realize. Um, I've been investing for over 50 years through crashes, bubbles, panics, and recoveries. And I'll tell you this plainly. The people who are most afraid of risk often ended up with the worst outcomes. Not because they were unlucky, but because they misunderstood what risk actually is. If you're over 50 and relying on playing it safe to protect your future, you need to hear this. Here's what I see all the time. People reach midlife and something shifts. The appetite for uncertainty disappears. They stop experimenting. They stop adjusting. They start clinging. They tell themselves, I can't afford to take risks anymore. I just need to protect what I have. I'll accept lower returns if it means peace of mind. That sounds reasonable. It sounds responsible. It even sounds wise. But what usually follows is something quieter and more dangerous. Portfolios that can't keep up with inflation, overexposure to safe assets that aren't safe at all, and an inability to recover when conditions change. The irony is painful. In trying to avoid risk, they walk straight into it. I'm not here to tell you to gamble. I've never believed in recklessness. But I have learned over decades of managing risk professionally that avoiding uncertainty at all costs is not conservative. It's fragile. By the end of this video, I want you to understand why playing it safe often fails, what real risk actually looks like, and how thoughtful risk-taking, not blind courage, has been essential to every good outcome I've ever seen. Early in my career, I watched investors pour money into things that felt safe, blue chip stocks at ridiculous prices, bonds with tiny yields, popular strategies that everyone agreed were sure things. They weren't buying safety, they were buying comfort. I've seen this movie many times. When everyone agrees something is safe, it's usually expensive. And when something is expensive, future returns are already compromised. There's a misconception that successful investors are thrill seekers. I'm not. I dislike risk. I just dislike uncompensated risk more. The times I took my biggest risks were moments when fear was high, prices were low, and discipline was required. Those moments didn't feel safe at all. They felt lonely, but that's where opportunity lives. People love the idea of inaction. They call it patience. Sometimes it is. Other times it's avoidance dressed up as wisdom. I've seen investors sit in cash for years, waiting for certainty. What they lost wasn't money, it was time, purchasing power, and optionality. In a world that changes constantly, refusing to adapt is a decision, and it's often the riskiest one of all. Short-term calm feels wonderful. No headlines, no volatility, no discomfort. But long-term safety is built through resilience, diversification, and humility, not stillness. The portfolios that survive are not the ones that avoid movement. They're the ones designed to endure stress. Let me challenge a few beliefs you may be holding. Myth has shown low risk always means lower stress. That's wrong. Low return strategies often produce high anxiety when reality doesn't cooperate. Myth #2, I'm too late in life to take risks. Also wrong. The real danger is being overexposed to one outcome, especially stagnation. Myth #3, playing it safe means I won't lose. No. It often just means you lose slowly and quietly. It is a simple way to think about risk the way I do. I call it CALM. Compensation. Am I being paid to take this risk? Awareness. Do I understand what can go wrong? Liquidity. Can I survive if I'm early or wrong? Margin of safety. Is there room for error? If you can't answer these, you're not managing risk, you're guessing. Let me leave you with this. Playing it safe doesn't protect you from uncertainty, it just hides it until it's too late to respond. The goal isn't to avoid risk. The goal is to survive it, learn from it, and be positioned when opportunity appears. I've risked being wrong many times, What I've tried very hard to avoid is risking ruin. There's a difference, and it matters. If you want more of my hard lessons without the sugarcoating, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss the next one.